Okay, folks, today we're testing this vintage 1970 Pontiac AM/FM stereo radio. This is a real deal stereo radio. It's known as the red dot stereo due to the red dot that's on the face there. That red dot lights up when a strong stereo signal is tuned in. And this one's in awesome cosmetic condition. You'll see more in the pictures, but there's just really no damage to it. The decal has fallen off years ago, but I can tell you, based on the chrome push buttons here, and based on the fact that it's got a G right there, it originally came out of a 1970 Grand Prix. The reason I say it's a 1970 model is the transistors on the back of the radio are still the originals, and they're both dated the 51st week of 1969, making it a 1970 model radio. Anyhow, this particular unit is very popular for GTOs and Firebirds as well. In order to fit a Firebird and possibly also a GTO, I'm not certain if GTO uses the same faceplate as a Grand Prix or not, but you basically take off these 5/8 nuts and you take off these 4 1/4-inch head screws here. This whole face pops off, and it's the same as an AM radio faceplate. So if you have an AM radio in your Firebird or GTO now, or an AM/FM, but if you have an AM, then you just pop that face off, swap it out with this current one, and this radio will install right into your dash. Anyhow, and as far as the push buttons go, if GTOs and Firebirds originally came with black push buttons, the chrome ones are really a nice upgrade, and these ones are in cherry shape. But you can swap out the push buttons as well. I believe they reproduce them, but you could also use like a SEM paint or something like that and just give them a dye job, and you're good to go. Anyway, really nice inner and outer knobs. As I said, nice push buttons, really nice dial, both on the AM and the FM modes there. All the push buttons work and everything. The case is really nice. No major rust or anything, no dents, nothing like that. Yeah, and we're going to test this today. I have it hooked up to a 12-volt power supply, a correct 8-ohm speaker, and an antenna. We'll test both of the audio channels separately, and I'll tell you now that the front audio channel is loud and clear and awesome. The rear audio channel, although loud, is not clear nor awesome, and I'm not sure if that is because the radio has been sitting and needs to be serviced, or if it's because my power supply doesn't put out enough juice to support this radio. That's happened on other radios before, so that could be the case. But that said, I would just plan on having this radio serviced before installation if you're worried about the rear channel, which if you're buying a stereo radio, you probably are. Anyhow, so I'll show you all the features of it, and like I said, it probably just needs a standard service. There's probably corrosion on something, or there's like a small capacitor that went bad, or whatever happens when these radios sit for a long time. They need to be serviced. That's just the way it is. But cosmetically, this thing is awesome, and you know going in that it gets reception on AM and FM, and both channels put out sound, so it's not a huge deal. Also, you'll see it, but the stereo indicator light works awesome as well. So we're going to test it today. We have it hooked up to, like I said, the 12-volt power supply, all the whole spiel there. The AM it works well, but where I live here, I'm in a steel building right now, and I live deep in a valley, if you can see. So the AM signal is weak from the center of the dial on down. In fact, it's almost non-existent, and that's not the radio. That's every radio I test. And you'll hear kind of a buzzing in the radio on AM, and that's the steel building, unfortunately. But FM doesn't get affected by either of those things, so you'll be able to see that everything works proper here. Okay, here we go. So we're on the front channel now.
As you approach the harbor from either direction in mind.
Become a part of that family too, in a
If you're lucky. KSDL News Time.
Services Association.
It's really nice AM reception, really. Okay, and then switching from AM to FM, this is AM, this is FM, so we just flip it. You see the dial fully flips over to FM there. And then if you watch this red dot here, this is why it's called a red dot stereo. is as we go in and out of stereo signal, it will either light up or go dim.
No quiero que me pase esto con mi crush.
I wanna go and play.
So there it's out, now it's back, see? Okay, while we're doing this, I might as well show you the other channel real quick and then we'll switch back. So, real simple situation here. Your front channel is right here, and your rear channel is the last connector here. So I'm just gonna disconnect it, move it over here, and you hear that buzzing kind of sound. Now it does get loud, and you can hear the music coming through, but it's distorted. Why that is, I don't know. Like I said, it could be my power supply is not putting out enough juice, or it could be the radio needs to be serviced. I'm gonna say it needs to be serviced just to be on the safe side. Oh, bear with me, guys. There we go. All right, 50 Cent.
So you only pay for what you
Outside of the World Trade Center when the gods about.
Just awesome.
How they can or can't be adapted.
$270 million.
Awesome, guys. And then finally, I'll show you how the push buttons work. You already know these ones work because I showed you when we flipped them. And then I'll show you how to set a push button. So when you find a station you like, you just pull out on a push button, whichever one you want, push it back in. Then no matter where you go, you can go right back to where you were. Anyway, if you've been looking for a factory AM/FM stereo for your 70 to 72 Pontiac, this could very well be it. This is a really nice original radio. Like I said, it should be serviced because that other channel is distorted. But I mean, finding one these days in any condition like this is near impossible. And I'm discounting this one a bit so you can have it serviced. If it doesn't sell quickly, then I'll send it out and have it serviced myself. Just the guy that I use for service is pretty backed up at the minute. So I figured I might as well pass this one on to somebody if they're looking. All right, guys, don't miss it.